With 2 months to go to their August deadline, June is going to be a busy month for Jill and Steve. Time to see how close they are to renting their London flat out.
So how are my DIY virgins then?
Well,
Holes in the wall.
yeah, it's been quite daunting actually. It's starting to come together. There's been a few things that we've sort of just cracked on with. I suddenly set about a wall, plastering it last week.
Have you had some organisational problems as well?
Yeah, it has been a little frustrating, yeah.
One of the worst things is that we'll get something done and then something will affect it, like the floor. That's not finished, and look at the mess of it now, so it's got to be sanded over again. And there just wasn't time to do it.
That is something I've learnt from bitter experience, that it's really unwise to leave an unsealed floor. That will have soaked right into the boards now, and however much you sand it, I think you'll be quite lucky to actually get it back to being unstained ever. So what's happening with the kitchen? Where is it?
Certainly the kitchen has sort of hit a bit of a wall in terms of it's been a little sort of slow to say the least, hasn't it?
What's the hold up with the kitchen?
Simon.
Is there anything that you think that you could have done to encourage him to push it forward?
No. We've tried lots of things with Simon, haven't we?
No, he's just very, very busy.
Jill and Steve could have avoided this delay and saved money by installing a cheap kitchen from B&Q or MFI weeks ago. But they're now beginning to pay the penalty for their handmade kitchen. It takes time to build from scratch. They're still waiting for the new kitchen at the beginning of July, when Jill and Steve must start thinking about whether they'll be landlords or employ someone to do it for them. So I take them to meet a letting agent who manages a flat in the next block.
So how much do you rent this flat out for?
Against current market valuation, I'd be looking to achieve about £230, £240 a week. So marketing at a value of £240, which is £1,040 a month.
That's £160 less than Jill and Steve are hoping for. And bear in mind, if you use an agent, you'll pay around 15% a month in fees, which brings the figure down to about £880 before tax. But for that, you'll get hassle-free renting. The agents would usually bear the cost of advertising. They'll deal with all deposits, credit checks, repairs and meter readings. Their legal team will sort out contracts and offer special insurance in case the tenant does a bunk. I have a few rental properties under my belt, so I prefer to remain in control and be a landlord myself. But if you're new to the game and busy with work like Jill and Steve, a letting agency may be the best way. Let's see.
So there you have it. You either get an easier life by going with an agent, or keep the money for yourself and let it yourself, manage it yourself. It's a difficult decision to make. I expect you want some time to think about it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we do need time to think about it. But it boils down to the sort of person that goes into our flat.
But before they can think about tenants, the kitchen needs to be fitted, and at long last, by the end of July, it's installed. Now the race is on for Jill and Steve to meet their August deadline and get the flat on the rental market. Steve and Jill are putting the final touches to their flat after doing it up to rent out. It's August and they're hoping to have it on the market in the next couple of weeks at a projected £1,200 a month. It's been a hard journey because they've been living in the flat and doing all the work before and after their day jobs as photographers. Their original budget for all the changes was £5,000, but they've gone up to £10,000. The bathroom cost £2,000, twice what they'd estimated, and they've spent a lot of money outside their budget, like £1,400 to knock down the wall and £640 for storage, not to mention £300 on customised glass and £530 on curtains. But the transformation is fantastic. The flat's changed beyond belief over the last 6 months. With the wall down, the kitchen's been opened up. They have their handmade kitchen with matching copper accessories, reclaimed fixtures like taps, and some expensive personal touches here and there. But this handmade kitchen was against my advice of a simple, plain, off-the-shelf number, and it comes at a price. The worktops are warping, the plywood unit edges are splintered, and the copper wrapping has sharp edges. There are cut marks around the sink and the draining grooves are ineffective. There are no drawers for cutlery, and the copper's not discoloured and tarnished as Jill and Steve had requested.
There's a roughness to it, there's a hastiness to everything, and there just isn't attention to detail, and that's a shame, and it's very sad.
He has assured us in his defence that he will come in and put new work surfaces on for us because we're not happy with them because they've started to warp.
Do you feel, in hindsight, that it actually might have been easier, considering it's a rental flat, to go and buy a nice kitchen from a kitchen shop that was ready-made?
You've just said the word there, nice, and that's it really. It would have been just nice, and we wanted something with a bit more character and a bit more sort of, bit more depth really, which okay we've got with a shed load of problems.
But it's not all doom and gloom. The rest of the flat's looking wonderful. They've emptied the sitting room of all their odds and ends, painted the walls, sanded the floors, and bought some stylish furniture.
It's very important that your furniture is either made before 1950, which it looks like it is, or after 1990, so it complies with fire regulation.
Well, this sofa is relatively new, so that's fine.
In the bathroom, they've put in a reclaimed suite. It's costly but nice. Taken my advice and installed a power shower, the renter's favourite, and tiled up to the ceiling to give the walls some protection.
They look horribly expensive, are they?
Well, they are expensive, yeah, they are. And you should just have them individually sort of framed, I think, because they're so exquisite.
The wardrobe doors look stylish in the bedroom, much better than the ropey old curtains that came before.
It's really good to see that all the clutter's gone again.
They've also taken my suggestion about getting a smaller bed and moving it into the corner. But again, their personal taste took over, and instead of the £100 I'd have paid, they actually forked out £500, another £400 wasted. Finally, the room I have the biggest problem with, the study. This should be a second bedroom, or at least have a mattress or futon in it. It'll mean more rent, but they just won't listen to me on this one.
Now, you bought the flat for £46,000, didn't you? And you were originally planning on spending £5,000 on it, and then you were hoping to rent it out for £1,200 a month, which after your £300 mortgage would clear you £900. But you went quite a lot over budget. You actually ended up spending £11,000 instead of £5,000, so that's £6,000 over budget. Where do you think that you overspent?
Probably with the wall coming down, that took a bit of extra. Jill wanted to put in her the bathroom, so as opposed to spending maybe £300 on putting in a cheap bathroom suite, we put a reclaimed bathroom suite, so that pushed the price up maybe a bit more as well. We've done it in a relatively short period of time, I suppose, as well.
We've done some rash buys because it's been kind of, you think we need that.
So where did the extra cash come from?
What we have done is whenever we've had odd jobs or extra jobs, that money's just come in, gone out. So anything we've had that's over and above.
So is that where you found the extra money from?
Well,
yeah, and also a few sort of deals and things along the way, isn't it? And things that we've done for people.
Are you concerned that the tenants might damage some of your personal touches?
I genuinely don't think anybody would kind of recklessly just damage things. Yeah, they might break that bowl or they might have an accident, but that happens.
The next hurdle for Steve and Jill is to get tenants interested in the place, even though they're still living here. It must look as good as possible to attract big money renters. So here's some tips. Firstly, tidy your personal stuff away in wardrobes. The impression of space is vital, so hang up your clothes and store your shoes neatly. Put clean white linen on the bed. This will give the bedroom an air of cleanliness, and the lighter colours will help the room look bigger. Cheap ways to spruce up a bathroom. Buy a new shower curtain, loo seat, bath mat and laundry basket. Put new soap and towels out to give it that freshly cleaned hotel bathroom look. Don't forget to put some fresh flowers out. Turn lights on low to give the place that seductive look, and scatter a few books around to impress people with your lifestyle. Finally, just before viewers come round, pop a vanilla pod in a low-temperature oven. It'll make the place smell fantastic. Just to recap, tidy your stuff away. Put clean white linen on the beds. Get a new shower curtain and change the loo seat. Arrange fresh flowers around the property. Finally, make the flat smell tempting with a vanilla pod or freshly brewed coffee. So that should impress the viewers. Now let's see how much cash they can expect by getting the letting agents to look over the place.